Yes, welcome back to another video, and we want to have a bit of a debate on this one. We've seen a debate sparked online amongst the City fans, and we want to get involved, and of course we want you to get involved as well. Down below in the comments, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's have a good chat. Now, LB, the topic is, of course, would you rather win the FA Cup final, beating our bitter rivals Man United, or win the Champions League if you could only choose one?
Oh, bro. First of all, let's just start by saying that this question is disgusting. It's disgusting, man. And we were sort of chatting off air before about like it seems to be pretty split on online. You know, you see City fans talk about this. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I have flip-flopped, right? I have flip-flopped on this quite a bit, and after this, I'll probably flip-flop again. Okay, so this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. So to win the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season is rare. It's incredibly rare, right? So, and we've never won the Champions League. And the facts are the Champions League is the biggest club competition in the world, right? We've never won it. So I'm kind of saying, you know what, the FA Cup, as much as I do actually really want to win the FA Cup, you know, it's one trophy that I really wanted to win more in the last sort of decade. I'm kind of willing to put that to one side, even if it's United, if it means winning the Champions League. So that's where I'm kind of at. That's where I'm at. However, the sort of temptation, this is the first ever final between Manchester City and Manchester United. To lose that, I mean, this is a historic game. This has never been played before in a final. So to lose the first ever Manchester Derby final in the FA Cup would just be seriously bad. So I am very close. I am very torn on it. It's not easy, but I'm probably, favouring lose against United and win the Champions League.
That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
I know it's disgusting. I know it is.
See, the beauty of it is now, it's that it's a hypothetical question. There's no reason we can't go on and do both. But, of course, for the sake of the argument, it is choose one or the other. And I understand both arguments. I'm kind of semi on the fence, but I do lean more towards one side, and I'll say which one it is. But I understand that the club needs to win that Champions League to get to that prestigious level and etch ourselves up there with the greatest clubs ever and, you know, one of the greatest teams ever and yada, yada, yada. But there's still this really childish part of me that's so bitter. Like I grew up obviously in Dublin, and everybody here is a Man United fan. And I was always so bitter about them winning all the time, talking to me about all their great players, and they just won this trophy and that trophy. So now every opportunity I get to stick it into them, I'm like, do it, put the nail in. Right? And you know, first ever Manchester Derby FA Cup final. Like the bragging rights for that are just massive. Like it's for people in Manchester, obviously, but in places like Dublin, where it's also a Manchester United haven, you want to be able to say you've done that. And the idea of losing to them in a final, I lean towards beating them in the FA Cup more. I really do.
No, I know. And even now, during this recording, I'm now like maybe flip-flopping back to it. Honestly, like literally, bro, I'm not. I've seen some people who are like, nah, it's definitely this or definitely that. I'm not that. I am literally, it's a terrible question. It's a terrible question. For me, I'm trying to think what's better for us. You know what I mean? Like, yes, United fans will have, you know, the problem with this question is as well, is it's coming a treble situation. So it's not just you're losing against Manchester United in the FA Cup final. It's also got the fact that it's the first ever final, and it's also got the fact that would then potentially ruin our treble, and then they would say they ruined our treble. However, they ruined our treble. We still won the Premier League and the Champions League, mate. Like, what a season that is. It's absolutely incredible. Our first ever Champions League, to combine it with the Premier League as well, it's absolutely amazing. So it's literally like 51%, 49%. I am literally just on that Champions League one, bro. But it's disgusting. Put it this way, mate. If we won the FA Cup, if we won the Premier League and the Champions League and lost against United, I still think I'd be crying my eyes out. You know what I mean? Because to lose an FA Cup final, to lose against United anyway is pain. To lose against them in a final, to lose against them in the FA Cup final, the first one ever, that would be absolutely disgusting. And I guarantee you that I change my mind in the coming days. I will, obviously, you know, I will. I will, because what you're saying there about, you know, growing up with United fans, you know, living in Manchester, United fans, getting onto you. You know, Saeed will be buzzing. They'll be saying they ruined our treble. It will be disgusting. So I probably will end up changing my mind. No doubt about it. But I just think that this is the year that we need to win the Champions League. I think the team is set up perfectly to win the Champions League. You know, it's a tough game going against Real Madrid tomorrow night, but I think this is the chance. We have a huge opportunity, and I don't really want to be saying lose the final or lose against Real Madrid just so we win the FA Cup against United. For me, that's the cherry on the top. To win the treble, and including beating Manchester United in the final, that would be better than their treble, 100%. You know what I mean? They'll try and find reasons as to why it's not, as to why their treble is better than our treble. But if you've just beaten your local rivals in the FA Cup final, the team that's also done the treble, the only other team that's ever done the treble, to go and match that, including beating your local rivals, ours would be the better treble. That's just a fact. So, yeah, man, honestly, it's just a disgusting question. It really, really is, man. And I've seen it's hotting up now. The debate on social media is hotting up.
But this video is primarily based on you can only pick one or the other. Like, we're not talking about treble here. You pick one, you lose the other. And there's a part of me, there is a massive part of me believes I should be able to put my bitterness aside on the basis that our club needs to step forward. But I can't let go of the bitter element of my brain saying, no, we need to beat them. And there's also the argument that people are saying, we will get more cracks at the Champions League. We will, no doubt. We may never, ever have a Manchester Derby FA Cup final again.
Okay, so 2 points there. First point is if you totally disregarding the treble. So let's just pretend Arsenal won the Premier League. We didn't win the Premier League.
In this video, no treble. In this video, no treble.
Okay, so no treble, right? I actually think that supports my argument better, because then you're saying it's a one-off. Do you want to win the Champions League or do you want to win an FA Cup? And I think that then puts me much more on the side of the Champions League, because you know I think it just does. It's FA Cup versus Champions League as opposed to the treble. The other point that you just made. That's the problem. This is the first ever FA Cup final between the two sides, and it's highly unlikely. It's very rare that this shit happens. As proven, both clubs have existed over 100 years, and this is the first time it's ever happened. You know what I mean? That then favours your argument. I think that this is a historic occasion. Yes, we probably will get to another Champions League final. We might get to it next year, the year after. We're going to win one at some point. You know, the way we're playing with Pep Guardiola, the players we have, we will win one at some point. That then favours your argument a little bit. So for me, I just think Champions League, I know it'll be pain. I know it would be pain to lose against Man United in the final. But as I'm saying those words, I come back to your side, and I'm like, what am I talking? What I'm talking nonsense. Of course, you'd rather beat United. Honestly, bro, it's disgusting, man.
But it's kind of like small club mentality versus big club mentality, and you're kind of struggling to let go of the old one to move into the new one. And I think that's perfectly normal if you've been around for a while. But listen, in conclusion, you are saying you'd rather sacrifice the FA Cup against Man United to win the Champions League?
Yes.
Wow,
but it's honestly, bro, I'm telling you, man. I guarantee as soon as this video gets uploaded, I'm like, nah, pull the video. I don't want this anymore. I want the FA Cup against Man United. Honestly, it's disgusting. It's a horrible one to say, and that's why it's such a good video and such a good talking point, man.
Yeah, well, listen, LB says he'd rather win the Champions League. I've made it clear. I think if push came to shove, gun to my head, I'd rather beat United in the first ever and possibly only ever FA Cup final, on the basis that I'd like to think we'll get another crack at the Champions League, but not everybody's ever going to agree on these kind of conversations, and that's the beauty of these kind of videos and these kind of debates. We want you guys to get down below in the comments, like I said. Let us know your thoughts. I'm sure both of us will get pelters for our respective opinions, and that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to believe what you want. Please do as well. Smash a like on the video. All of your support massively helps, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you tomorrow with some brand new content in a bit.